All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video. Where does Brock Purdy rank with the quarterbacks that are in the NFL today? We hit that next. The sponsor of today's video is Jurns.com. If you're looking for a top-quality cocktail mix, garnishes, or kitchen essentials with the absolute lowest prices, Jurns.com is the place to go. Their new website offers free shipping across the entire U.S. with the absolute lowest prices. Check out Jurns' website at Jurns.com. If you use the promo code KRUG, K-R-U-E-G, you'll get 10% off your entire order at Jurns.com. Promo code KRUG. Once again, Jurns.com. All right, let's talk Brock Purdy. The Niners are 3-0, and Brock Purdy played really well last night. And a lot of people would sit there and go, what? Oh, my God, he wasn't great. He wasn't this. He wasn't that. Well, Kyle Shanahan came out today, the day after their Thursday night win over the New York Giants in Week 3. And Kyle said, man, after watching the film, I was even more impressed than I was after the game. He said the O-line missed some blitzes, which made life difficult for Purdy, but he hung in there and handled the pressure well. And Brock Purdy really was good in the second half and completed a high percentage of his passes, threw a couple of dimes, including a beautiful pass to Deebo Samuel, and the Niners once again scored 30 points. And all Brock Purdy does is win games and lead the Niners to at least 30 points a game. And the Niners have a great defense, and the Niners have great weapons. And Kyle Shanahan's a fantastic coach, and Brock Purdy's not doing it alone. And it's not all Brock. It's Ayuk and Deebo and Kittle and Trent and Bosa and Hargrave and Ward and Greenlaw and Warner and Moody. And you see what I'm saying? It's a team. It's a team. But let's ask the question right now. I mean, and let's lay this out on the table. How many NFL quarterbacks are better than Brock Purdy right now? How many? Now, first we got to define what better means, right? And there's lots of different ways to look at it. I look at it this way. When you say a term like better, everybody could have a different definition. I define better as quarterbacks I'd rather have instead of Brock Purdy right now going forward. Like today, if every team in pro football offered you a straight-up trade, we'll take Brock Purdy and we'll give you our quarterback. How many guys would you trade Brock Purdy for today? Going forward, knowing what we know about Brock, knowing what we know about all these other quarterbacks in the league. And I think, it's funny. I saw a list the other day where it had Brock Purdy ranked like 24th. That's crazy talk. That is absolute lunacy. And then, you kind of wonder, how do people define what's better? I define better of just, if tomorrow it was announced that Brock Purdy was traded for Patrick Mahomes, would Niner fans riot or would they party? And if they traded Brock Purdy straight up for Patrick Mahomes, as much as Niner fans love Brock Purdy, they'd be celebrating in the streets because Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the game. So that's an easy one, but that's how I define better. If you traded Brock Purdy straight up for this guy, would your fans be happy? Would you be better off in your pursuit of trying to win a Super Bowl, trying to get that 6th Lombardi for Jed York and the Niner trophy case and the Niner fans? So let's go through the list, and this is how I see it. And tell me, I definitely would love to hear your comments. Please comment on the video and give me your perspective. I'd love to hear it. I'm not always right. I'm just giving you my opinion. All right, this is my opinion on this. The guys who absolutely, if their team called and said, we'll offer our quarterback for yours, the guys that I would take for Brock Purdy, Patrick Mahomes, in a heartbeat, wouldn't have to think about it. Josh Allen, despite the struggles he's had turning the ball over and some, the up and down nature of his career to some degree, he's still 6'6", 240 pounds, huge talent, great playmaker, great mover. I really believe in the talent of Josh Allen. So Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, those two for sure. Lamar Jackson. this is a little bit more debatable because Lamar's coming off 2 bad years. He does make a lot of money, but he has won an MVP, and he's really, really dynamic, and he's a great leader. So I'll throw Lamar on that list too. That's 3. Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts, now, personally, I think they're Purdy and Hurts potentially are very comparable. Hurts does some things way better. He's got stronger legs. He's a faster runner. There's a lot of great traits about Hurts as a leader to factor in as well. I'll put him on the list. To me, it's not like a slam dunk, but I'll put him on the list. So now we got Mahomes, we have Josh Allen, we have Lamar Jackson, we have Jalen Hurts. Those 4. Trevor Lawrence. Now, Trevor Lawrence is enamored with throwing the deep ball. I don't think he processes probably as fast as Brock Purdy, but he's so much the prototype. 6'6", mobility, big arm. He's already having success in Jacksonville nonetheless. I got to put Trevor Lawrence on the list. So now it's Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence. We're at 5. Justin Herbert. Now, Justin Herbert doesn't win games. I mean, when you look at his talent, he might be the most talented guy there is. Another guy, 6'6". Does anybody throw the ball better than Justin Herbert? Maybe not. He throws the ball exceptionally well. His teams don't win, but is it really his fault, or is it more Brandon Staley's fault? I'm going to go with Brandon Staley's fault, and I'm putting Herbert on the list. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is got ice water in his veins, and despite Cincinnati's slow start this year and his huge new salary, I got to put Joe Burrow on the list. There's no doubt in my mind. If the Niners announced tomorrow they were trading Brock Purdy for Joe Burrow, I love Brock Purdy, but you know what? People would be dancing in the streets. That's the list in its entirety. Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow. That's 7 quarterbacks that I'd rather have than Brock Purdy. 7. Every other player in the league, I would rather have Brock Purdy. And I know there's some of you going, what? Krug, you're nuts. Matthew Stafford makes $40 million a year and is 35 years of age. And throws a lot of picks himself. And is a gambler. I'd rather have 23-year-old Brock Purdy making $850,000 a year than 35-year-old Matthew Stafford. If it's just for the year, yeah, I'd take Stafford. But going forward, I'd much rather have the 23-year-old guy with the upside. I think Stafford's going to wind up playing 2 or 3 more years, and that's about it. I think he won his 1 Super Bowl. I don't think he gets another one. Stafford, to me, is the closest guy on the list that I would consider adding to the list of guys that are better. But when I factor in his age at 35, his looseness with the football, and his $40 million a year salary, no, I'd rather have Brock Purdy. Let's go to the next guy, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's a Hall of Famer. No doubt in my mind. And I've seen enough of Russell Wilson making big plays against the Niners to have incredible respect for his game, for his talent, for his character. He's 34, and he makes $40-something million a year. So no, I don't want Russell Wilson at 34 making $40 million over Brock Purdy at 23 making $850,000. Kirk Cousins, no way. Rather have Brock Purdy. Kirk Cousins is 35. He makes $35 million a year. He doesn't win big games. I'd rather have Brock Purdy. Aaron Rodgers, no. He's 39. I don't think I think there's a very good chance he never plays again. He makes $37.5 million. Only Tom Brady goes to 46. Rodgers is probably done. If he's not done, he's done in a year. There's no way I would trade Brock Purdy tomorrow to the Jets for, 1 year of Aaron Rodgers coming off an Achilles? No. I love Aaron Rodgers. He's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks that ever played. The Niners should have taken him over Alex Smith when they had the first pick in the draft. back in 2005, but that's water under the bridge at this point. There's no way I would trade 23-year-old Brock Purdy for 39-year-old Aaron Rodgers coming off an ACL or coming off an Achilles tear. So no. Now we're getting into the guys where it's a little tougher decision. Dak Prescott. No. I'd rather have Brock Purdy. Dak Prescott's 30 years of age. He makes $40 million a year. He's not worth $40 million a year. No. I would rather have Brock Purdy than Dak Prescott. Tua Tagovailoa. This is another tough one because Tua doesn't make a lot of money, and he's only 25. And he's on a good team. He's completing 65%. The Dolphins are undefeated. But Tua's had major injuries and some up and down moments in his career. And he only makes $7.5 million, so he's not old, and he doesn't make a lot of money. I'd still rather have Brock Purdy. Jared Goff. Bay Area kid, went to Marin Catholic. He's not old. He's 28. He makes $33.5 million a year. But his lack of mobility in a game, his lack of mobility and lack of durability, to me, is not going to get better. That's an equation that's going to get worse. I think he's going to suffer injuries in the years ahead. I would rather have Brock Purdy than Jared Goff. And I think a lot of you would as well, to be honest. And here's the last name I'm going to throw on the list. I mean, of course, there's the rest of the league, but many of those decisions are easy decisions. The other one is Deshaun Watson. Now, Deshaun Watson's 28, but man, Deshaun Watson right now doesn't look like the same guy. He's completing 55% of his passes. I've got huge questions about his character after all the off-field incidents involving massage therapists that, just creepy at best. And he makes $46 million a year. I'd rather have Brock Purdy and his high character making $850,000 a year than saddle my franchise and make Deshaun Watson, who might be a serial weirdo, my franchise quarterback, especially at $46 million a year, especially now when he doesn't look like the same guy that he was in Houston. He's completing 55% of his passes. He doesn't look as good to me. So they're all great quarterbacks, and you could make an argument that all of those guys are better quarterbacks than Brock Purdy. Stafford, Wilson, Cousins, Watson, Rodgers, Tua, Goff, Dak. Dak Prescott. I mean, you could make an argument individually that every one of those guys has better arm strength and better foot speed in some cases. More of a downfield passer than Brock Purdy. But ultimately, after watching Brock Purdy, the only guys that I think are better than him when you factor in salary and age and the total package involving character, face of the franchise. Let's be honest, your quarterback's your face of the franchise. That's a big, big negative on the Deshaun Watson front right now. Those things all factor in. So I'm defining better as quarterbacks I'd rather have than Brock Purdy. And I will take Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, Hurts, Lawrence, Herbert, Burrow. What does that mean? That means, in my mind, Brock Purdy's the 8th best quarterback in the NFL. 8th. Not 24th. Not 15th. Not 12th. People who say he's a top 10 quarterback are absolutely right. He's probably more like top 8 when you really say who's the best. Who's better than who? How many NFL quarterbacks are better than Brock Purdy? 7. Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, Hurts, Lawrence, Herbert, and Burrow. Brock Purdy, in my opinion, only has 7 quarterbacks in the NFL that are better than he is. Give me your comments in the comment section. I'd love to hear your perspective. That's how I see Brock Purdy. I know I've been called a Purdy stan, a Purdy fan, a this, a that, whatever. I'm telling you my honest opinion. That's how I honestly feel. I'd love to hear where you rank him. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of The Krug Show. And thanks to all you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.